You know, if you write to your local community college, I bet you could get life experience credit for this interview.
This man, it was a Mexican, oh yeah. I did a Norwegian, oh yeah.
I live in Los Angeles City, although I live in a part of the city that is now threatening to secede from Los Angeles, and I have always forsaken the political folk song, but I'm considering becoming part of the San Fernando Valley secession movement.
I wanna live in Los Angeles, and I don't want Los Angeles.
I invite all the disc jockeys to emphasize any track that they like from the record. What my liaison at the record company says, you know, doesn't necessarily have to go. We can break the rules. We can screw it all up.
Last time I talked to you, you were doing a promotional tour,
That's right.
and you were in Louisiana in a rainstorm, and you called me on
We
your
spoke
car
by
phone.
cellular phone. That was quite a conversation that we had in the middle of a sort of, you know, Cajun-style monsoon.
You can't believe where I am right now. The waters are rising so high right now in this, bayou. They're almost coming over the freeway. The rain is coming down so fast that you can't even see more than 50 yards in front of the car. This is totally nuts here, and I'm doing about 80. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh! We're gonna die.
Meet Frank Black.
This rock star stuff is great.
Do you eat a lot of beef jerky on the road? Is that a...
That's all I eat, actually. Beef jerky and, you know, orange soda.
She was right. She was right there.
I look forward to a world of karaoke stars that appear only in the visual medium.
I'm Kurt St. Thomas. In this hour, we'll step into the eccentric world of Frank Black. We'll talk to Frank about his self-titled debut release, recorded at the Clubhouse in Burbank, California, where Mr. Black now calls home.
Burbank, California, it's a little town within a town. It's a town within Los Angeles, of course, home of Warner Brothers Studios, and Bob Hope owns basically that entire part of the city. Actually, he owns, I understand, most of the San Fernando Valley. They used to grow fruit there in the 50s, and now it's just jam-packed with houses. But it's a nice place. It's a quiet place, or quiet compared to Hollywood. We like it out there in San Fernando Valley.
To record the album, Frank used some interesting equipment.
Well, I'll tell you this. The desk, or console, as they're sometimes called, you know, the buttons and knobs, as it were, the whole sound and vibe of the record. It was recorded on the same desk as Dark Side of the Moon.
Since these would be the first recording sessions he would conduct as a solo artist, I asked Frank if he approached the new challenge with a vision.
Well, I don't think that me, along with a million other bands out there, necessarily vision when you go and make a record. You may have a vision on paper, but really that piece of paper gets forgotten about really fast. You know, and it's just a matter of having good songs or good renditions of good songs and trying to accomplish that. And it's not so much a vision, it's just it becomes much more microscopic. It's too microscopic to have vision.
For the album, he recruited former Captain Beefheart, Snakefinger, and Pere Ubu member Eric Drew Feldman. Feldman produced the effort and played bass and keyboards as well. I asked how they hooked up.
I met him at a Pere Ubu gig in London, and I've been running into him off and on for a few years, because we both have worked with a producer named Gil Norton. We played some ping pong together here and there, and so we got hooked up at the suggestion of this producer, you know, Gil Norton.
Joey Santiago plays a little bit of guitar on the album.
Yeah, he's out on tour with me. Yeah, with his lovely wife, Linda. They're both honeymooning on the Frank Black tour. He and I think, were both a little intimidated by playing with all these seasoned veterans. You know, like Mr. Maimone, Mr. Feldman, and Nick Vincent, who plays in the record, who's played with King of the Road, Roger Miller, Donnie Marie Osmond, John Fogerty, Brian Wilson. I mean, he's played with like all these heavy people, and he's really good. He's a heavy guy himself. Joey and I are really having a lot of fun playing with these cats. That's how, you know, we've known each other a real long time, long time. And I love Joe very much. And he's a man of few words, and I appreciate that.
Eric Drew Feldman introduced Black to an old friend, Morris Tepper.
Morris Tepper played on the record. He's played with a few interesting people like Beefheart and Tom Waits and people like that. Kind of interesting, odd guitar player with his own unique vision of guitar.
He also recruited John Linnell of They Might Be Giants to play saxophone on the album, and John Flansburgh of They Might Be Giants to direct 2 videos.
Well, I'm big fans of them and been privileged to know them. And a couple of them, John Flansburgh and their live guy, Kurt Hoffman, plays keyboards and saxophone with them when they play live. Came and played some saxophone. Even John Flansburgh came down to have some pizza with us, and I offered him the opportunity to produce one of the tracks while he had like 2 hours to do it. But he did the videos, which was really great.
For the first video, Los Angeles, Black rented a hovercraft.
Well, I said to Flansburgh, of course, talking to Mr. Flansburgh from They Might Be Giants, I said, get me a hovercraft for this video. The gentleman, matter of fact, who developed that just passed away a few months ago. He's an older guy. But as the name implies, it's a craft that hovers. It doesn't use wheels or anything like that. So I'm interested in various modes of transportation. And a hovercraft is unique and unpopular.
Was it hard to drive?
It's harder than a car, and it's easier than a helicopter.
You've driven a helicopter.
Well, that's how it's been described to me. I did almost flip it once. But
It looks like you're going pretty fast in the video.
they go like, you can get them up to probably like 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour probably. As long as the artist has to pay for half of these videos and go through this weekend process, because you make them very fast, only a few days, and you've got these catering trucks and all kinds of film trucks and light trucks, crew and everything, and you don't really get to practice making them like you do with records or concerts. And unfortunately, they're really expensive, and I don't have them. The money, not that money is necessarily the key, but sometimes it can make the difference, I suppose. The thing is I might as well just, get my own video camera out and spend about $50 and
Right.
rather than all these enormous sums of money to make these little things that aren't acting, it's not really art.
I met a man, he was a good man, sailing and shoring, dancing the better can, making me foreign, oh yeah. Was a good man, sailing and shoring. He got a Betatron man, talking that foreign. Ah yeah, oh yeah.
That's Los Angeles, the first single from Frank Black's self-titled solo release. The second single, Hang On To Your Ego, is a remake of a Brian Wilson song. I asked Frank why he chose a Beach Boys tune to cover for his debut.
Yeah, I guess it's for the love of rock trivia, because that's like the extra track sort of on the CD reissue, and it's the other version of I Know There's an Answer, which Sonic Youth actually covered on some compilation, which I've never heard. And I did it for the John Peel radio program, a little solo thing I did for that a few years ago, and not a great version of it, I might add. I didn't really have the subtleties, like the correct chords, down. Mr. Feldman helped me out with that, and we did a more definitive version, I think.
Brian Wilson was asked to be in the video.
Oh yeah, he was asked, and he thought about it, and I think he didn't feel right to him, which is totally fine. It's totally fine. We're glad that he even paused for only a moment to think about whether or not he would do that. That was nice of him to at least consider it. We tried to get Chris Elliott in the video. I'm a big Chris Elliott fan, of course. The only show worth watching in these modern times, Get a Life. And I was really bummed when they canceled that. But we tried to get Chris Elliott, but he was laid up with a back operation or something. But I'm hoping that at some point in my career, I'll get to work with, even indirectly, with John Candy. I'm just thinking about comedians, and John Candy, I'm a big fan.
I know so many people who think they can do it alone. They isolate their heads and stay in their city zone. But what can you tell them? What can you say that would make them defensive? So hang on to your ego. Hang on, but I know that you're gonna lose the fight. They come on like they're peaceful, but inside they're so uptight. They trip through the day and waste all their thoughts at night. But how can I say it? How can I come on when I know I'm guilty? So hang on to your ego. Hang on, but I know that you're gonna lose the fight. And how can I say it? How can I come on when I know I'm guilty? Hang on to your ego. Hang on, but I know that you're gonna lose the fight. Hang on to your ego. Hang on, but I know that you're gonna lose the fight. Hang on to your ego. Hang on, but I know that you're gonna lose the fight.
John Denver, space, the final frontier. NASA, the Soviet Space Agency. $10 million. $10 million is what he offers to NASA and to the Soviets for a ticket to ride in a spaceship. He was denied. That's basically the story. A man who has sung his song who wants to go to space. And he actually has come close in that he is an accomplished pilot, I understand. So that's what the songs is about. Anyway, yeah. He also built a gas tank in his front yard during the oil crisis in the 70s, as I recall. Time, if he could travel time, he would have been on time instead of making rhyme. He didn't need a band, no. He was a mountain man. Oil, the national turmoil, and hiding in the soil, a singer and his spoil, just singing thanks. I got my own gas tanks. Sounds like the Cars. Okay, here we go. And there's no time for the man who has sung his bar. And there's no time, and there's no time for the man called Czar Blue. Extraordinary blue. 10 million point of views are saying on the news. The Russians just said no. You can't go. And there's no time for the man who has sung his bar. And there's no time, and there's no time for the man called Czar.
We'll be back with more of Frank Black right after this.
Making an album is really like giving birth to a baby. It really is. To a litter of pups.
Welcome back to an interview with Frank Black. Frank talks about more songs on his debut album.
Black holes. You know, big sun, big star, gets old, begins to collapse. Finally, there's so much condensed mass that even photons of light cannot escape its gravitational pull. This is the theory anyway. One of the theories. All kinds of crazy theories about what happens when you go into a black hole, and theories about the Earth and our galaxy actually being inside of a black hole, and it's one of those things that, you know, it's fun to read about, and I'm just a regular guy who likes the idea.
A gravity that's long. She was right there. She was right there all the time, collapsing all the way.
Well, there's some English films, you know, from the 40s, I guess. Fu Manchu character, he's a criminal Chinese character. But I've never really seen any of the Fu Manchu films. But Desmond Decker must have seen them because he had a song called Fu Manchu. So I just stole the title from Desmond Decker. You know, it's become a style, you know what I mean? Character becomes something else. A character is called Fu Manchu, and everyone knows him by his trademark mustache, and then eventually one day, many decades later, when you wear that kind of mustache, it's called a Fu Manchu.
You heard about a criminal man of virtue. Is the lady down? His minimal strands would suit you. Is a hard wine. Is a hard wine. I'll never lose my Fu Manchu, my Fu Manchu. Let them grow up. In time you'll feel so better. The vanishing now you're a real go-getter. Is a hard wine. Is a hard wine. I'll never lose my Fu Manchu, my Fu Manchu. Is a hard wine. Is a hard wine. Accidentally tic-tac. Accidentally tic-tac.
Tucson, Arizona. The Biosphere 2. You familiar with it? Greenhouse, scientists, 6 of them living inside, 2-year project, pollution studies, agricultural studies, applications for space technology, that kind of thing. That's what's going on. They're coming out in a couple months, actually. I've taken the tour. There's a tour you can take. $10, an hour and a half. It's a pretty good tour. It's called Biosphere 2 because, of course, they're referring to the Earth as, you know, the model, the mother, the Biosphere 1, you know, and this is Biosphere 2. So it's been kind of controversial, actually. There's been a lot of people that have been kind of down on the whole thing.
I hung around on the planet Mabel to try to stand, but you was not able. She tried to find the truth, she tried to colonize space. She only had a few, but it was a good race. Oh, Black Diane is coming on. Oh, Black Diane is coming on. Oh, Black Diane. Oh, Black Diane. I'm always happy to go down to old Tucson after you had your fun. It's time to move on. Oh, I got a favorite story about the Tower of Babel. Some say it's true, and some say it's a fable. Oh, Black Diane, it's coming on. it's coming on. Oh, Black Diamond. Oh, Black Diamond. Woo! That's good too. Woo! I'm always happy to go down old Tucson. After you had your fun, it's time to move on. I got a favorite story about the Tower of Babel. Some say it's true, and some say it's a fable. Oh, Black Diamond is coming on. Oh, Black Diamond is coming on.
Ah, Don't You Rile 'em. The advent of electricity and artificial light in modern life. I think what's happened is the sun goes down and then an artificial sun comes on in our homes, and people are unfamiliar with what is above their heads. And they've always been familiar with what's above their heads, even though they didn't understand it, even when they thought the world was flat. They were still, yet they were intimate with it. They could get from point A to point B by looking up. And this is something that's been lost because of electricity and artificial light. People do not look up into the sky anymore. There was a bigness to what was above their heads. And now, I don't think the sky is some little space that planes fly in, or that's where the rain comes from, or that's where the ozone layer is. And that's about it.
I'm seeing how boring it gets, back where the sun never sets.
The Ramones, they're considered the punk band. Although they're much gentler and poppier than a lot of the punk bands. They're much more tuneful. Of course, the Buzzcocks, very, very poppy band.
Right.
But the Ramones remain probably one of the best examples of popular music, I think. They actually invited me to sing with them on stage at some show down in Maryland, and I couldn't do it because I was preparing my current band, and I really couldn't take myself away from that. We were very nervous about this tour, but after I hung up the phone, I was like, what, am I crazy? It's like, I could have been the Ramones for like 10 minutes, singing Ramones songs. How could I say no to that? So I'm hoping that we'll cross paths someday, and I'm hoping that they'll still want to invite me up to sing a song, and that would be wonderful.
And then you'll have to change your name again.
Frankie.
Frankie Ramone, right? It'll have to be Frankie, definitely.
We'll be back with more of Frank Black right after this.
It's getting to be about that time for a legal ID, isn't it?
Welcome back to an interview with Frank Black.
The name of the tour that I'm on right now is called the Every Night is Friday Night Tour. And all of our laminates have a picture of Jack Webb and myself in costume. That's me actually there, showing him the laminate. I think that Jack Webb, people they poke fun at him even probably in the 60s, because he was sort of, oh gee, look, they're making fun of hippies and pot smokers and that kind of thing, but really that was his baby, that show. I mean, that was his thing. He was the producer, he was the director, he was the star, and that was vision. I mean, he was committed to that, and he has even the people like poke fun at the law and civics and all that kind of thing. It's really what sort of makes the world go around, and he sort of believed in that. And, yeah, I can't really knock the guy for believing so hard, and he had his own show. The hammer, the painted hand that hits the Mark 8 or whatever at the end of the show that
Right.
hits the big spike and chung, chung. That's Jack Webb's hand.
It is.
Yeah, because we found out he had to pay an actor to do that. He was like, forget it, I'll do it myself.
My show, my hand.
This gravity is feeling like a tether. I wanna be so high above the weather. Our frequency around, round, without a sound. And there's today, and there's two spaces, and too many places not to go to. This big old sea is feeling like a pleasure. I look cautiously at all the fallen treasure. When some frequency comes down, down, without a sound. And there's today, and there's two spaces, and too many places not to go to.
Yes, and very enthusiastic people coming out to see Frank Black, and I really appreciate their patronage. I really appreciate the fact that people are so interested in my numbers. I really appreciate the interest. I usually get a couple of kids that are interested in an autograph. I'm usually hanging out in front of the club, kind of moping with my pen, kind of waiting for, kind of like, hey, you guys are going out, hey, it's me, it's.
I'm just another 10% of my mind is like an ocean. My mind is like an ocean. I'm hanging in the harbor. I'm just drifting like clouds tonight.
With a successful debut album now under his wing, Frank Black continues to tour and work on his next album. In fact, he's already completed half of it in his head.
The album's like half done. It's all up here in the old noggin. It's going to be damn good, I swear.
I'm Kurt St. Thomas. Thanks for listening.
And if a ship meets your car,